G'day viewers, I made a tutorial for the BR194 and then I realised the E94 version, the single one, E94088, the restored one, while it's the same as an OBB, pretty much, it's, well, it's different to the other one, shall we say. So I think it's worth doing a tutorial, but I am just going to follow the scenario we're playing. So we have to go and press the battery supply button. That'll be in here. If you need to turn the lights on, you can. Pop down here. It's this one. And let it go. Right. While we're here, let's turn on CIFA and Indusy. And we have to set the auxiliary compressor switch to on, but we'll do that round the corner. This version does have the mode selector for Indusy, the O, M, and U. So according to the rules, you can use those. And we want the auxiliary compressor switch. I think that's that one. There it is. The shaft even spins. How about that? That's pretty cool. Nothing else we need to do back here just at the moment. So we'll come back to the driving position. And wait for the pantograph pressure to increase. Now, interesting, I would have thought that compressor would have started pumping up the main reservoir. But it doesn't. That's okay. Somehow we just know that it's fine. We heard the big glonk, so I guess it's fine. Master key is that one. And then we do the pantograph controlled arrays, which is one of these. There it is. Raise. It's up there. Now this one's got 2 contact strips. So you only need one of the pantographs up, unlike the BR194. That needs both. Set the main circuit breaker to set. That's that one. Bang. Set the battery charger to on. Is that one? That one? That one? There it is. And control supply to on. We just looked at that one. That was that one, wasn't it? No. That one. No. No. Yes. Okay. Set the compressor to automatic control. Set the auxiliary compressor switch to off, so to leave the driving position. Come back here and switch that off. Good. It's an interesting texture on the light there, isn't it? Flickery, 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 flickery. Mind you, this is an early access version, so who knows. Set the blowers to slow. Right. Everybody likes a slow blow, don't they? Slow blow coming up. There we go. Wait for the main pressure to increase. Now, interestingly, that's happening as though the blowers do that. But no, it doesn't do that. The blowers call the traction motors. What's doing that is the air compressor. Anyway, that's fine. The computer programmers, not trained people. Now the main res pressure should get up to about 8, I would think, but we'll see if it lets us drive before then. Once we've got a bit of pressure, we'll apply the independent brake, and the scenario will tell us to do that anyway. Wipers, if you don't remember, are down there. It's a little lever. Put them on to run. Oh dear, the wipers don't follow the things. I'll report that. It's an early access version after all. Okay, set the loco brake to apply to build pressure. Good. Let's apply that some more. A bit more. Good. Set the brake key to unlocked. Very good. Train brake to service application. Now it is a lapped brake. Set the signal lights to on. I'm trying to think where they are actually. They're here somewhere, aren't they? There they are. Set the handbrake to release. Round and round it goes. Set the master switch to forward. When you want to go backwards, you've got to push the button and then pull it back. Okay, set the train brake to release running. So we'll go through our positions. We have overcharge, quick release, then release running. Then there's neutral, which is the one where you lock it with the key. Then there's lap, and then there's service application. So let's just leave it in release running. Looks like everything's pretty much charged up enough. Set the loco brake to release. We've done that. And apply some power onto the steering wheel. There we go. Safe to release. Interesting that the PZB helper is working with Industy, because I don't think it does on the 1020. Interesting. This thing is basically a 1020 that's been downgraded a little. SIFA going off, so we just acknowledge. If you want to learn how to recover from SIFA or an Industy event, watch the 1020 tutorial because it's the same. The way they've set this up with Rail Driver is a bit weird, I have to say, because the throttle's moving that thing and that. So that's motoring position or braking. SIFA. Industy is a lot like PZB. I think this might have gained a little more suspension than it had before, to be honest. If you notice, you can see the motor unit in the front actually bouncing around when we don't bounce, and we're swaying a little bit. I like this. This is good. We're on our way to Run 2K signal. Run to KK. Could be. I know someone named KK. I don't know why we have to go so far away, but that just happens in this game, I guess. To go outside the signal block. You're stopping up near the bridge up there. Be my bet. About 250 metres away. We do have a signal coming up that we will have to acknowledge. SIFA. And we should probably start slowing down, so I'm going to put a little bit of air in. Just go to 1 bar for the moment. Get ready to acknowledge this one. Put a bit more air in. Go a bit further, don't we? Whistle, of course. Get a little bit of power. And off again. Just get to the right stopping point. Put that back to the hold position. And lots of brakes. More brakes. There we go. Lovely. Now we're going to want to go backwards, reverse slowly and attach the coaches. So bring it back to... So this has to be in 0. Bring this back to the neutral position. Or master switch off. And then push the button and pull it back the rest of the way. I'd love to tell you how to do that in console, but I won't. Okay, now there doesn't seem to be any kind of contact signal on here. The secondary controller, which doesn't do it. Loco communication. So it's just things on the buttons, and the phone doesn't actually do it. So you have to do it the old-fashioned way with the radial menu. Go at restricted speed. We are going to run through a red signal, so I'll pop back in the cab to do that because we're going to need to do something. Let's release the brake, start powering, and we need to hold override because we're going to be running through a red signal. we go. That's done. Now we can watch out here. Wow. Nice little birdie we're hearing there. As we head back towards our coaches. Siva. Actually quite a pretty unit in green. Just come down here so we can admire it. I'd still love to have a Swiss Crocodile, the ones with the side rod motion in the game, but don't have that. So in the OBB 1020, which is basically what this one is, but it's a backdated version, you have to have one pantograph. This has one pantograph because they have two contact strips on top. If you look at them there, you can see the two. Cipher again. In the BR194, you have to put up both pantographs because they only have a single contact strip. We will have to acknowledge this signal, I guess. Apparently that was enough, because we're not stopping. Good. Just take the power right back to zero now because it's starting to go downhill. I did notice that the pantograph is rather slow to react. Those springs would push it up and down much quicker. The wire pushes it down, the springs push it up. That would happen quicker. Oh, we left the wire. We left both wires. Interesting. I'd love to know how they do that cross. I think the 1020 pantograph is the same as this one, so it probably does that too, and I've just never noticed. Alright, let's pop back in the cab because we need to put a bit of brakes on. In Dusty. Let that slow down a bit. And release. Same lever I'm using. I'm still only using the locomotive brake. Just let it roll in. There we go. That's close enough. Couple up. Clunky, clunky. It's time to change direction, so we'll go back into forwards. Don't have to press the button to do that. And it hasn't figured out that we've coupled up yet. There we go. Set the train heating to 1000 volts. That's that one. 1000 volts. And then we have to press the button, which I think is it's under this sign. Let's just go around here so you can see it. So I left the driving position with E. Turn that on. And back into the driving position. Train brake, let me just run through the handle positions for you. I will leave the independent brake applied. So we're in the running position at the moment. And then you go into neutral. And the service application, that just skipped over lap though. And lap, so you can see how much pressures have put into the brake cylinder. If we go to overcharge or quick release, the brakes will come off. Down to the point that the loco brake is holding it at 2.5 bar. And there is also, of course, emergency, which is big hole, which will drop all the air out of the train brake pipe completely. To recover from that, all you do is put it back into overcharge release, and it'll pump back up, and it'll be fine. Again, that'll drop down to where the loco brake's holding it. That's about it for this one, so thanks for watching. If you've got any questions, I would check out the OBB 1020 tutorial because it's basically the same as this thing. This thing's got a couple of extra buttons for things like sanding and the like, which I don't think the OBB's got from memory. But yeah, dive into it, enjoy it. Got any questions? Chuck them down below. See what I can do to help you out. See you later. Bye.
We played a game.